Previously on Marvelous Monday.
Men do not communicate like women. So, if you are evaluating his communication, the man in your life, based on how you communicate, you're going to fail him every time because he is never going to communicate like you, particularly if he is masculine. He's not going to communicate because he's a man. Welcome to The Secret Garden, located at the crossroads of Sassy Lane and Divine Boulevard, where we are powerfully feminine and divinely chaotic. I am your host, Lady Lovely. It's Marvelous Monday, and we're taking a moment to understand and appreciate men. As you take your seat under the willow trees, hit the like button and show the world that you support The Secret Garden. Welcome to The Secret Garden. I am your host, Lady Lovely. Today is our first Marvelous Monday interview. On Marvelous Mondays, we celebrate manhood and dedicate a moment to men. We all know men. We have husbands, lovers, fathers, uncles, maybe even sons. But do we know what they want most? Do we know how they experience the world or even us? Because we are enchanting feminine creatures, we are willing to learn. Today we are interviewing Ed. Welcome, Ed, to The Secret Garden.
Thank you for inviting me. How you doing, Miss Lovely?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you? How are you today?
I'm coming along.
How's your day going?
I'm excited to be here.
Are you excited? Oh,
yes,
that's great. I'm excited too.
A little nervous.
A little bit? All right. Well, hopefully I'll be able to put you at ease and you'll feel comfortable here in The Secret Garden.
Mm-hmm. This wine is helping.
Great.
Okay.
What do you do for a living, Ed?
I sell electrical supplies wholesale. Electrical supplies to contractors.
Hey, can you name electrical supplies? I mean, we're all ladies here in The Secret Garden.
Electrical supplies.
Yeah, like what? Like what? Like
the wires and the outlets and all the stuff that would go into like building a house, like roughing in the house.
Okay.
Or it don't have to be a house because a lot of it's commercial.
Okay.
Like commercial buildings.
So like the fixtures.
Anything you can imagine electrical.
Okay.
Anything.
All right. Do you have any children, Ed?
Yes, I have 3.
3 children.
Mm-hmm.
What's the makeup? Boy, girl, boy, girl, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, girl. Girl, boy, girl. Okay. All right.
You got any children?
I do. I have one son.
Mm.
Yes, one son.
Oh, he's probably a handful, isn't he?
Very much.
Mm-hmm.
Very much. That's true. Very much. So, let's say there's an emergency, okay? Hurricane there are watches going off on the phone, letting you know we're looking at a flood warning. They want to evacuate your neighborhood. Dangerous waters are coming in. The water will be unsafe for drinking. Your home's roofs will be flying through the air. Fires will be roaring. Things will be very dangerous. And you have to leave your home. The police are outside. They're knocking on the doors. They're roping off the area. You must leave your home with your family. You have an hour. What 3 things are you taking with you?
I am taking my cell phone. I'm taking some pants.
Okay.
And I'm taking, I guess if we leave them, you got to take your car keys. Mm-hmm. So I could probably add something else. Because the car keys.
Yes. Okay. So you got to take your keys. You got to come back. So you're leaving your home. They say you've got to be out in an hour. You don't know when you will be back. Your home may not be inhabitable when you return. So you've got your phone, you've got an extra set of clothes, your pants, okay? You're taking your keys, no problem. We won't even include that. What's your third item?
if I'm not including keys, it would be my laptop.
Your laptop. Okay. Now, okay, good. Okay, good answer. Good answer. They say on, what do they say that on? Is that the Wheel of Fortune? Is Family Feud?
Family Feud.
Family Feud, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, because a lot of people these days, I've noticed, they use their phones primarily for everything. So, since you already have your phone, what's on that? What do you need with the laptop? Like, what makes the laptop also necessary?
Well, I'm kind of old. I can't see everything on the phone.
Okay.
I'm not good with the widgets and the little. I need the big picture.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
I need to be able to see some things.
Okay. All right.
What would you take?
What am I taking? I am taking.
Your favorite dress?
Okay, I have an hour. I have to get. Okay, one of my important church garments. I'm taking that. I'm taking. Okay, I obviously my phone. I'm taking my phone, and I'm taking all those documents that people can never. I know you can get them again, but they're hard. I'm taking all the birth certificates, the Social Security cards. Did I name everything? That's 3 items.
Yeah, well, all the documents is extra items. You know, women, you only can take 3 items.
Okay. Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
So I could only take one.
The bag is too heavy.
Good point. Good point. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to get back to you. I have to get that. Okay, I got my garments. Whew, goodness, this is hard. I have my garment. I think I have to take my laptop. Okay, so that I can continue to speak to the audience.
And your phone.
And my phone. But that's what you said. Now
No, that's your 3 things.
That's over practical though. I don't know. Okay. We're gonna move on. So, thinking back to when you were a child.
Your house gonna blow away because your hour gonna be up.
It probably is.
And you're not gonna.
It's hard for us.
You're not gonna
to
have all
deal
your
with
stuff together.
It's hard for us to deal with deadlines.
Yeah. and your man is gonna be in the car waiting with it running.
Okay. Thinking back to when you were a child. Who was your role model when you were growing up?
My role models when I was growing up was Muhammad Ali and Dr. J. Muhammad Ali, you know, he was in the 70s. He was the great, even though he was going to the end, but we knew him as the greatest. You know? And Doc was Doc. Doc was smooth, afro. Doc just seemed cool, you know, and I liked, Muhammad Ali was cool too. He was kind of boisterous and brass, but you know, it was like cool, and I liked that. As I got older, my great-grandfather and my grandfather became my role models / heroes because of things that they've done. And my grandfather was like the head of the whole family. You know, not just our family in the house, but his brothers, his sisters, everybody listened to him. If my grandfather says something, that's what was going to happen, you know.
So he was a patriarch.
Yes. My great-grandfather, his actual first name is Saint. So his name is Saint.
And that was impactful to you. What did that mean to you? Or what does it mean to you?
For a long time, it didn't mean much, but like I said, like my grandfather he was like the top dog to me, you know. Everybody listened to him. I think I might have been about 9 or 10, and my great-grandfather came up from down south, from Charleston, and my great-grandfather said something to my grandfather, and my grandfather listened. So when I seen that,
let me interrupt you for a second. When you say listen, do you mean he changed something? He did something. You saw him change his actions.
Yes, it was like and with didn't bat an eye. It was like, okay, this is, and I was like, okay, he must be the man. It was like, okay, he must be the man. And then once I learned more stuff, learned about all the land and stuff that he purchased and how he set it up for his kids to pass it down and everything, I was like, yeah, that's what I want to be. I want to be these guys. I want to be like strong leaders of my family, noble men.
So when you say he must be the man, what does it mean to be the man to you?
To be the man is to, like I said, be strong, noble, be able to provide for your family, to take care, to be some form of like leadership, to be something that, like for my son, I feel like I noticed that he mimics me. He watches me, he mimics me. Even when he was little and I would drive the car and I look over, he's trying to move his hand the way I'm moving my hand, So it's like, okay, I know that I have to always raise the bar. I can't be stagnant. I can't let him catch me, I always got to raise the bar. And that's what that's the way I saw them. It's like, it was, when I looked at him, it seemed like a level that I was never going to catch him,
And was that not being able to catch up, was that inspiring? It wasn't defeating. It was inspiring,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it gave you something to aim for.
So I thought that at the time when I was young, I wasn't, but now I don't think that, Now I'm my own role model. Like my future me, 10 years for me is my role model.
Okay. So in this question, you mentioned fathers. You mentioned your great-grandfather, your grandfather, and your son. So tell me, like, what do you see as the role of fathers?
The role of fathers we are protectors, providers, we teach. And sometimes the lesson might not be something you sit down and actually feed to them. It's how you live in your life and how you are providing for your family. That's the lesson. I think the role of fathers is, is to plant the seed for the future, to build a legacy. I don't want to die. But I know to live that I have to, my kids have to keep living and remember me. My my grandson has to remember me. People that kids never met me, if they know about me, then I'm alive.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So now we're going to move a little bit. We're going to change a little bit. If you had 10 times the salary you have now, okay, what would you spend it on? Let's say your first check or your first...
I would invest it. Because 10 times my salary now will not free me. It won't free my family. So I would invest it so I can get 100 times, get 1,000 times my salary.
And when you say free, what does that mean to you?
Free that they don't have to depend on somebody else's 9 to 5.
So 10 times your salary.
What they call generational wealth.
Okay. So generational wealth to you is being able to be self-sufficient financially.
Yes.
Self-sufficient. Okay. I agree with that. So you would invest it, what? What would you do?
Well, it depends on what vehicle is available at the time that looks good. It might be stock.
Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite?
the one that's going to make me money. That's
Okay.
my favorite. I like real estate.
Okay. Okay.
I
You
like real
land.
estate.
Uh-huh.
So it definitely will be in there somewhere.
Okay. Okay.
But it might not. It might be. I might get a insurance policy.
Okay.
I might. Max out a $1 million insurance policy.
Okay.
It all depends.
All right. That's fair. So now, if you could invite,
and I would buy my lady something.
You will buy your lady
Yeah,
something.
you have to. Gotta keep them happy.
Okay. All right. So would you buy her? What would you buy her? Would you make an investment for her?
Yep,
or would you buy her like her
probably get
favorite?
some stock.
Okay. So you would put something specifically in her name.
Yeah.
Okay, that's righteous. I think we can clap for that here in the garden. All right. So now, speaking of women, all right, what is something that men never tell women?
Something that I never tell is exactly how much money I have or all my financial movements.
Okay. And that's because
Few reasons. Like I mentioned, my grandfather, he always told me, like, never let your right hand know what your left hand's doing. So, and sometimes people can't see your vision. And if you saying, well, hey, I'm gonna take this money and invest it over here, and if she says I don't agree with it, it might make me hesitate. And another is like, when they know how much money you have, they have a reason to need it for something. Like, a need mysteriously always comes up, an emergency always comes up. But if you don't know, then all of a sudden there's no emergency. It's like, okay, the emergency come up and you ask, I'm like, all right, I got it, and I have exactly how much you need. $500. I got exactly $500.
Now
Like,
to play devil's advocate. Now, some of our listeners may be thinking, well, your lady, isn't she your right hand? You said don't let you.
Right. So you don't tell her everything that's in the other hand.
Okay. That's not what I meant to say. but
that's
all right.
what you said.
Okay, but okay.
I'm just answering the questions you asked me.
Okay. So, all right. I'm just Okay, do you think that's common among men? A common practice?
No. No. I don't. What not telling how much money? No, I don't. That's me. But like I work with a lot of men that no, that's not.
And do
like
you
I
think
said,
that's a fatal flaw?
It can be. It can be. Like I said, I work with a guy that he doesn't control any of his finances. And then some people, they work in tandem with me, and that works for them. Okay, but that's just not what I normally do. Because first of all, my money is going to be spread out. I have something over here. I have something over here, and it's for a reason. It's like, because I need to put this over here so to build, so to grow. So I don't need you to think about it and figure out something to do with it.
Do you think women are untrustworthy when it comes to money?
Untrustworthy? I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Sometimes I just think that women might not have a broader vision when it comes to finances, or not just finances, just money, how money works, and how to generate more money.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Do you feel like that is something women don't understand, how money works?
Maybe, because I wouldn't say that I understood
Okay.
how money worked until recently.
Okay, so you feel like that's a life skill.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it something
I think
that you...
black people in general don't understand how money works.
I agree with you on that. I agree with that. Is it something that you want to teach your children, your daughters in particular?
Yes. It's a fine line, you know.
Teaching them that is a fine line?
Well, you have when you're teaching them like the money skills and how to navigate like relationships, like money and relationships, especially like with daughters. I don't want to make them too masculine, too independent, that they can't function with the man. You know?
Yeah, that's fair. That's a hot button topic right there. When it comes to money, because a lot of people, they say, well, most people work out, like most marriages end because of money. Number one, do you agree with that? Number two, if that is true, do you think that the issue is actually the money, or is it something else? Like, well, I guess that's the same thing. I'm saying, do you agree with that statement?
Yes, in a way. I think that yes, and money is an important aspect of the marriage, the relationship, and I don't think the actual money necessarily might be the problem. It's the control of the money, or how the money is used or moved. You know.
Yeah. I agree with that. Do you think that, in particular, when it comes to us as black people, because we don't understand how money works, and you said that earlier, and I agree with that, do you think that impacts our marriages differently than others?
Yes, because since we don't know how money works, we don't have any money. And you need it to navigate through certain things, you know. So yeah, of course it impacts it.
But is it having the money? So let's just assume, okay, let's give every young black person under, let's say 25 to 30. Let's just say under 30. Okay, we're going to give them all a check for X amount of millions of dollars. Now they all have money. They all got the same amount of money in this check, depending on what they have before that. Now they're getting married. Okay, they're getting married. Has the issue been resolved?
No.
Because
they don't know how to use the money.
Okay.
You know?
So how do we rectify that? How do you
have $1 million today, and that money can be going very
That's true.
fast, you know?
That's true. So what do you think, or what would you say is like how it could be rectified? You think it just takes time?
Oh, I think it takes education. You know, it's a lot of things that we are not exposed to that other people are. You know,
when it comes to money.
You know, it's stuff that we do with our money that we think is safe.
For example,
sticking it in a regular bank and just stacking it in a bank. You know, because that's what we
been told,
and that's what we do. You know, but the wealthy people don't have they don't have $10 million sitting in TD Bank.
What's a common myth about men that women believe? Let's say black men and black women, since we're talking about black people.
That men can't turn down sex. They, if it's placed in front of them, they gonna, lap it up. They can't turn it down.
What do you think causes that belief? Like, where does that come from?
Part of it comes from some doggish male behavior. And then I think it also comes from that's just the narrative that's pushed,
By society.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that the media has a greater impact than real people in real lives?
Yes. Yes.
And why do you think that is?
Because the media, it's like you might see something and you might not know anything about a person in real life. But if you see it on the internet, you believe it. A lot of people will go and say, oh, Johnny did XYZ because I saw it on, but you don't know Johnny.
Do you think that's the power of images? Or why, where does that, what gives this, I'm pointing to my laptop, what gives this more power than my family, the people I know in my life?
We give it that power, and I think it's just a lot of people they already want to believe the worst, that's just the nature. It's more exciting,
right?
Interesting, the negative, than the positive.
Okay.
So that's why it's like,
So go ahead.
Can't resist sex if you offer it to them, because that's the negative. But if you say, they can, that's not interesting. That's not, and a lot of women pick the wrong men, and y'all keep picking the wrong one. So they don't. You keep running into the bad apples, because that's the apples that's the bin that you choose to shop in, because that's the cool guy. Or
so it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like so since we kind of changed a little bit, you brought that up about women picking the same bad apples. I'm just thinking about, that's just so important. I don't know. I feel like
you don't like apples.
I love apples. Honey Crisp, Jazz, Fuji, best apples. Yes, I agree with you. I agree. I think that, we don't see our own patterns. And we think the pattern is not what the pattern is. We're picking the same guy over and over again, but we think we're changing because of exterior differences.
I have a question. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But so why do some women knowingly pick the bad apple, thinking that they can make it a fresh, crisp apple again? Like, why do they knowingly pick the bad apple? Like, that's a bad apple.
I think that we do that because, number one, we don't understand men. I think that the average woman doesn't really know that much about men. Facts, not what the media has pushed, not what their mama told them, but actual facts that they've learned from men about men. I don't think we know that much. And because we don't know much about men, we think they're going to change. And we also are very obsessed with being special. And this society today is always telling everybody that they're special, and I think that that's a big, believing that you're special, thinking that you're different is like fatal, like it's going to lead you right into disaster. The worst thing you could think is that you're different. You need to think you're the same. You need to see yourself as just like that woman over there who just got screwed. You just saw her get screwed by that same guy. You need to believe you're the same. To him, you're exactly the same. You're the same. You're not special. If you start seeing yourself or a part of yourself in everybody else, then I think that we would probably be better people, make different decisions. But it's the thinking that we're special and not really understanding men, which is why we do Marvelous Mondays, because I really want, especially black women, to really get in touch and learn about black men. What black men really, what they want, who they are, and how they experience the world.
So, you said that women don't really understand men. So, why is that? Is that a communication problem?
It's a lack of communication. It's a lack of fathers, active fathering. It's a lack of talk, really talking to the men in your world. Really hearing them, not hearing them through the lens of Beyonce or Disney, but truly pure sound and hearing, and believing that, not saying, "Oh, you just saying that because." No, that's it right there. He said it. That's his truth. I don't like to say his truth, but that's the truth. That's, talk to men. Talk to the men in your life. Your fathers, your brothers, men, but you don't talk to them in that. We don't talk to them in that way. We kind of talk around each other. Particularly, we talk around y'all. I'm just being 100. We don't listen. We don't listen.
I didn't say that.
Oh, man. This has been great. This has been wonderful. This has been a wonderful first Marvelous Monday interview. I feel good. I really do. I hope that do you feel good?
Yes, I feel it's positive.
Listen, I'm looking forward to the next one. And I hope that the listeners get something out of it. This has been great. And lovelies, since it is Marvelous Monday, smile and say hello to a man today. I promise you'll be blessed. And until we meet again at the crossroads of Sassy Lane and Divine Boulevard in the Secret Garden, go. Get back your ooh.